It's Sunday, and you know what that means. It's another live episode of Unturned Pages. Welcome, everyone. I hope you had a great week. And yeah, let's dive into it, shall we, Alicia?
Knows that.
Knows that. Y'all missed it. Our guest saw up Alicia's nose before the show started.
It got deep.
It got deep up the nose, you know. But diving into our little housekeeping things, we do still have t-shirts available. Summer is coming, spring is coming. Time to get your Unturned Pages t-shirt ready to show all your friends. We still have hoodies, we have zip-ups and long sleeves for those chilly nights or while investigating haunted locations. You have your Unturned Pages hoodie or zip-ups or your long sleeves. Contact us if you're interested. We still have a couple of our Unturned Pages bracelets from Maximalas. Soon you will be able to purchase via Maximalas on their website. Jessica is working to get that added to her website for drop shipping as well, which will be super nice. Thank you to our sponsors, Small Town Productions, Larry Eisler, and then Breaking Fate with Willie Atkins. Check them out. Go support them. Go like them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever media source you use. Go check them out. Next event I have coming up is actually in Dubuque, Iowa, down by Alicia, only like 3 hours away. I will be there April 19th, and then I will be heading to Booze on the Battleship the following weekend, so I'm super excited. Our next guest next week is Kelly Hopla of Paraventure, Paracon, and Eloise, so super excited to have her on. Paraventure, I went too fast there. Paraventure, you guys get your tickets. $50 gets you entered into all the amazing giveaways. I know she just launched Ashmore Estates giveaway. There is the Bloomberg Mansion, the old funeral home up in Canada. They donated Night Investigating. Super excited. I will win that one. Just putting that into the universe. I will win that one. But there's other great giveaways throughout the day of Paraventure. Richard Stepp, Jeff Bellinger, Dave Schrader, Shane Pittman, all amazing people will be speaking. Amazing. So it's $50 for VIP, gets you entered to all the giveaways and the speakers, and you get to watch it later after it's done as well on Stream Beacon. Paranormal Lockdown is coming up super fast. It'll be here before we know it. Me and Alicia will be there promoting Unturned Pages and Eternal Paranormal with all of our amazing friends. So come out, check it out. It's an amazing event, low cost. Just come and join our big Broadhead family at this point and just have fun.
And get your hotel soon because they're going fast.
Yeah, yes, they are. I have to book. I think I booked mine in Janesville. I think that's where I booked my hotel. Gettysburg Battlefield Bash is the following weekend after Paranormal Lockdown. It is another like family atmosphere. You walk in and you become family. Amazing guests. They're still adding more every single day. John Zaffis will be there. Daniel Kloss of the Hinsdale House will be there. The Tennessee Chafers will be there. Mike and Chris, Shane, Josh, Dave, all will be there. So it's an amazing event. It is seriously, you walk in and you become family, which is amazing. And then I will be at Dark Arts and Oddities event in DeKalb, Illinois, November 15th. And what just happened? What just happened? I don't know. Okay, my computer's being stupid all of a sudden. So check that out. It's a great event. It's like $10 for each day. It's great, great fun. But tonight, I'm super excited to have our guests on, Scott and Kim of Horton Paranormal. You guys know them. They make the XLSs, the SLSs, and all this amazing paranormal equipment that everyone should be buying and using on investigations. So we have them on. So let's have them join us. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Long time no see.
I know. How is everybody?
Good. How about you?
We're doing good. We're staying extremely busy.
Right? You're
Yeah.
always busy,
Yeah.
Seems that way, which is good.
Yeah.
right?
Good.
It
Yeah.
keeps you busy. It makes you happy, right?
That's right.
I
Keeps
see,
us out
I
of
see your
trouble.
mom just said no more equipment for Jennifer, so I think we need to fix that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Like it's
Okay.
see, like I have. Let's see. How much do I have of yours? I have the SLS that I won at Michigan. I have 2 XLSs. I have the torch.
Good.
I have the EMF hand.
Rim hand. The rim hand.
Yep. I have. Hold on. I have them right here. Hold on. Hold on. I have them all right here. Hold on a second. All my
Oh, we
like
thank
the
you.
stuff I bought. The stuff I bought at Michigan last year. Let's see. What is all my paranormal stuff? I think it's at the bottom. Let's see.
Oh my gosh. Hello, Christine.
Christine's here. Let's see.
She is the best ever. If you guys ever went to Joliet, Illinois. Oh, yeah.
The
Guess what?
torch.
Well, we're going to show you something else then tonight, Jen. An upgraded version of that.
And then I have. Ooh, I have this.
Oh, Derek's asking. There's the rim hand. Once
We'll get into
we
that.
will
Derek.
explain both.
And then we have.
Oh, the Modus.
The Modus, yeah.
That's right, the blue.
The blue Modus.
Yes. I think that's all I have in my backpack.
In that bag.
Not big, yes. But
Now
I-
here's the question. Do you use them all? Do you actually use them?
yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So tell us about yourselves. How did you guys get into the paranormal and how did you start creating equipment?
Okay. I don't want to go dark, but I'm going to kind of go dark on this. When Scott and I got together, I've always had psychic abilities and I've always seen things since I was a little kid. And so when we got together, he was a non-believer, totally wasn't into this stuff. I'd go with my brothers and we'd go ghost hunting and things like that. Hey, Brooke, she donated a mediumship thing to Kelly's event too, the autism one, you guys.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, very cool. So I'd always been like that. And I told my husband, I said, okay, you're marrying me. And this is the baggage I carry. I can see and I hear and I think, so don't think I'm weird. And we kind of just treated it like religion or politics. So if we didn't agree, we respected each other's opinions.
Mhm.
Well, in 2015, 16, I talked him into going to Good Springs, Nevada, to where Carol Lavard, did I say her name right?
Lombard.
Yeah, her plane wrecked. Lombard. Can't say her name. That's so terrible.
Pioneer Saloon.
Yes, and she was married to.
What gave
Thank you. Can't find my words. Anyway, so her plane went down. And so there was the Pioneer Saloon was known for this because they said that he would go in there and smoke cigarettes and wait for her to return on the find her remains and different things like that. And so he used to be there. Well, there were stories back at Good Springs about the saloon being haunted prior to that. And so we went on this ghost tour out of Vegas, hitched in the van and went out there to check it out. And so all I had at the time was my recorder and my camera on my phone. Because Scott wasn't into this. We didn't have any equipment with us. And we're doing all this investigating. And lo and behold, on my recorder that night where I was walking the road, I felt the little girl there. And so I hit record. Midnight in our room, I hit it to listen back and you hear a little girl go, just like that. We both dove out of bed. It was like, I caught it. He's like, wait a minute. I'm like, I was the only one out there, Scott. So
That's pretty wild.
he was like, okay. He wanted to get into the debunking side and the equipment side at that point. He's like, I need to know more. I don't know if this is necessarily that. And we caught a bunch of other stuff just between taking 3 quick shots with my phone, different things like that. We caught a shadow person in the tree that I saw and a little boy looking up at the tree and some things you couldn't explain that night. So Scott started doing his research, and at the time, you know, Zach Biggins had the SLS camera out on his shows. And it's like, that's cool. So we started investigating, looking how much they cost. And we're like, that's expensive. And so it's like, Scott's like, well, I think I can make it. So 2016, he started making his own version and selling it on eBay. And we were doing really good. We were selling a lot of them. And so this was before he even had his 3D printers. He was just copying what was out there at the time, and they were big and they were bulky, and he's like, I gotta fine tune this. And so it led us to the 3D printing, which has led us to where we are now, with all this other equipment. You want to add to that? There's a lot to it.
Yeah. So, you know, I guess the cost was a big one, you know, for what you got, what you paid for versus what you got, I felt wasn't adequate, you know, kind of, I mean, it's still kind of that way, but, I just wanted to give a quality product, you know, that works, and then back it with, yeah, I mean, that's affordable, and back it with good customer service. And, you know, with the 3D printing and all that, now we can do custom work. You know, we can put logos, team logos, and, you know, paranormal teams names or different colors, things like that. You know, where the most, you know, some of the other people that are making equipment, you know, they're using 3D printers as well, but I think we're kind of above them right now at this point.
So one of the things when we started making our equipment or actually buying it, Ghost Stop was out there and some other places were out there. So we were buying stuff off of Ghost Stop. Very reputable business, you know, they kind of is what we aspired to. But even them, at the customer service and getting right back to you and answering questions and things like that. I mean, we sent stuff in. One time we had an SV7, is that what it was? That we accidentally erased the memory on it.
No, that was Bill Chappell.
Yeah, and we sent it to Bill, and Bill sent it back fixed for us. And so, I mean, people have been really good for the most part in the field, but the average person wouldn't know how to get a hold of these people to get it fixed or whatever. And so that was why we put it on top of the list, that no matter what happens, we've got to keep our communication open. You know, that was the biggest part about our equipment. If something doesn't work, we've only had a few returns, and it's usually the tablets or the Connect sensors that have gone bad and we've had to replace them. But we usually get a 90-day return policy on our things.
I've got a 30-day hassle refund, and then
no questions asked, you drop it, break it, wax it. Okay, gets a hold of it. It's on us. So
yeah.
So I guess the other thing is we never set out to be equipment makers, but we thought, you know, this was a good way. We're both on Social Security. So I'm 100% disabled veteran. And not a lot of people know that because we hide our stuff well. Scott, he was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney cancer in 2019. And so we were put on a very limited income. We went to very decent paying jobs to losing our entire savings because of cancer to doctor bills. And so we decided, you know what? We want to stay positive. We want to show people that you can still live your life, and you should live your life. Keep making those memories no matter what. Don't stop. So we needed a way to finance what we had already started and to go ghost hunting together because we enjoy it. We want to know those answers. And especially spiritually, it's been a private journey for both of us based on Larry. Yep. Thank you for your service too, Larry. So basically, we wanted to give back to the community if we did it. And we wanted to make enough money selling equipment to pay for us to go ghost hunting. And that's what it's all been. So one of the things I did last year was the pay it forward. I think you guys knew that, where I just was so appreciative by everybody who followed us. Each month I would do a small pay it forward. And it was also to bring people like Brooke Inman and, Mediumship by Brooke Ashley, and different people that you don't hear a lot about that I got to meet out doing these events that you're going to right now, Jenny, and just get to know them and connect with them and give them a voice to say, hey, I'm out here. This is what I got. This is what I got going. And, they then they get heard a little bit, you know, and then people could go check out their things, kind of a networking kind of thing. I mean, it didn't cost anything. Why not use that voice? So then the other thing that we did was last year was tough on a lot of location owners, a ton. We had Whispers Estates, wind come up and took the roof, $40,000. We had Stephanie O'Reilly's heater, what is it? Her boiler go out on her.
Yep.
Yeah. And, you know, Rose Hotel was going through a bunch for remodel to keep it going because, you know, Lost Limbs Foundation was no longer there and it fell back on the couches to, you know, the maintenance, and they're out off the beaten path. So these are all great locations to keep people coming in and stuff like that. We would do these raffles where we would raffle an SLS or XLS off, $20 a ticket, get enough money, and then donate the money back to one of these places that were doing that. We loved it. Made our hearts feel really good. So that's how we paid it forward this last year. We also spent a lot of time going to events to get our own name out there to hopefully get more followers, keep the equipment going. But this year we've decided it wore us out, and with our health issues and things like that, we had to take a step back and reevaluate what was really important to us, which was why we started doing it in the beginning, those private investigations, going out and doing what our heart led. Yes, we still need to fund that through what we sell and do. So our time that when we're not doing that, we're doing R&D here at home. We don't have the time now to go to the events like we used to because we're trying to split our time with family that, you know, my mom's getting sicker, you know, the typical everyday stuff everybody's dealing with. So we're trying to find that balance. And since we've been back, you know, we are about to embark. We've had a lot of R&D, some really cool stuff is happening. I'm gonna let Scott take it because it's really super neat.
If Kim keeps talking, she's gonna expose the new piece of equipment.
So I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh, I wanted to so
I
bad, but yeah.
tried.
So I guess the only thing I will say it's what we're good at is what we're going to release. But hopefully in about a week here, we're working on a commercial for it. And I think what we were just talking before the show that we're going to go and do, I think last month we did Kim and I just went on live and did a roundtable like this and talked about things going on. I think we're going to do one of those and release the commercial for it. And then I think the very first one that's going to be sold, I don't want to say sold to the public, but we're going to raffle it off. We're going to do a raffle for the first one, but then at the same time, we're going to take pre-orders. And it depends on how many orders we get, you know, how long it's going to take, but hopefully I'll have some stuff printed up beforehand. So it's just a matter of just building them and get them shipped out. It's
hard because part of the R&D is to actually take them on the investigation with us. We use stuff we make. Our stuff, we use it. And it's mind blowing what happened to us on the investigation with this new piece of equipment. It's like,
speak of the devil, here he is.
Yeah, Ryan. You know what it is too. He was on that investigation.
Ryan, tell me, Ryan.
Can you at least tell us where you went?
Can we sell them? Investigate? Sure, I think so. You guys probably saw the pictures on Facebook. We went back to Goldfield School.
High
The high school there in Goldfield, Nevada. That place is so off the hook, you guys. It's neat. It's really neat. We've gone there twice with Ryan and Tara, and this time Phil was with us, and Phil Adams, and it was a blast. It didn't disappoint the second time around. So it was crazy. It was fun.
That's right.
Right.
And we also got, we're working on our own spirit box.
Yeah, I know everybody has.
But I've been wanting to do one for a while, but I wanted it to be done the way I wanted it to be done, which I guess is like everything else we do here. But I just felt like now is the time, you know, we've got the XLS and SLSs pretty much fine-tuned to where we like them. So we're gonna do the spirit box, and we have another motion device that we're working on as well, and then also another version of a REM. And this is the stuff that, you know, we were out last year That's right.
Take all my money. Take all my money now.
They're going to be unique. I don't know if you guys remember, we had, this was an EMF that we did. And I have to turn on the microwave, the eyes light up and stuff, but we did a limited version of it. You guys can see it in here. Anyway, the Raven in there. So each piece that we're doing is going to be, it's not going to be the old designs like you guys have. The rim handle stay, but we're actually doing like signature pieces with more detail and stuff. So that's the example of the Raven. It's kind of hard to see on here. It's really pretty cool when it lights up. It's pretty neat. Woo, that's blind you. There's our website, but that one was limited.
Yeah, so we sold a lot of those within the first day. We sold the run of 10 of them. And
we plan on doing more.
Yeah, I will probably do another run of those once I get caught up with everything else and free up a printer. They just take a little while to print. Then we just released this not long ago. It's just another version of the torch.
Larry, still on here? Jenny?
I need that.
This is the torch.
Like I just said, just take money on my bank.
It's got
it'll be fine.
A built-in camera shoe along with the adapter in the bottom. It's the same electronics as the first torch.
Explain what torches are for people who don't know.
It's an infrared light, high power infrared. This is the same electronics as that one, except it's in a little more user-friendly body, more of an IR light. It's got the USB on the side. What we use this for is we put it with one of our full spectrum or night vision cameras, and we plug in our camera here, and it will run record time for about 5 hours.
And cold.
With not having to change the battery in the camera. So
that's quite a while.
Yep. And this by itself, this IR.
Larry's asking the diffuser. See, for sure, diffuser.
Diffuser. Not for this one, Larry. I lost my train of thought. Without plugging something into this thing will run at least 10 hours plus.
Wow.
At least 10 hours plus. So
you camera people get on there, you don't want to have to stop to change out batteries and stuff. That's like the most worst inopportune time that seems to always happen. So that's
why we wanted to get back to doing our own investigating, because all the last year we were just doing Paracons, and I'd come home and I'd build, and we'd go and come back and build more, the same stuff. So we weren't able to build some new stuff and take it out and test it and see what else that I would like to help our investigation easier. And one is longer life, battery life on equipment.
Yep. So to the questions of earlier for Derek, he was asking, what's the difference between an SLS and an XLS? Yep, right there. So the SLS is your structured light sensor, and your XLS is actually your 3D LiDAR mapping system. So you have the basic Kinect system that they did the $1 million technology for the Kinect, the Wii games, boom, boom, and the stick figure showed up. Well, it's pretty basic, and they found out that it does have a lot of room for error. So if you had a coat rack there or a lampshade and you put it on there, it'd give you a false positive sometimes. You have to really study, change it, and make sure that it's not a false positive. Now, like I tell people, double check and check, because I've had spirits pretend that was what was wrong, and then we're like, I see you, up the wall they go. And so you always do your debunking and your discernment on it. But technically, it's your 3D mapping, or your lost my thought.
Yeah, well, the SLS uses like an infrared grid.
Thank you.
And it's looking for something breaking that grid, with a human structure, skeletal.
It shoots out about 15 feet. And then after that, it won't pick up as well. It'll be hit and miss. And then your XLS is based on the LiDAR technology, and it has 3D mapping, so you can move the room around. You can also have your hand, map your hand and close it. It'll change colors on your hand so you can tell what angle a person or a thing is doing that. We've done experiments where we'll say, put your hand out, close it, and they'll do stuff like that, or touch it, and the colors will change based on if somebody's standing there and whatever's there touching. It's really interesting. It's great data collection. It's amazing.
I have a video. Hold on. I have it queued up here. Hold on 1 second. I don't know which one I want to do, but we will do. Hold on. I got to pull it up.
Same stick figures, though, just a different type of
Let's
mapping grid.
see if I can make this. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to do.
Sounds like
There we go. Okay, so this is at the asylum up in Wisconsin. As you can see, and then you get something here. We're asking for it to turn on the web hunt.
You are getting something.
Okay.
It's yes. So it's over here.
That's weird because the circles should be the hands.
Right? And then hope.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it's over here.
I think.
Whoever's by that red light, can you please touch it for me? It would be greatly appreciated. Whoever did that before.
Trying.
It's like walking towards
These
it.
videos are always amazing because you can almost also figure out what is residual and what is actually doing that, like interacting with you.
Mm-hmm. That's one I had at the asylum, and then the other one that was really cool was Dave and Shane down in the chapel. Let me see here.
We can play music for you if you want.
I have one of her favorite songs.
Watch next to Dave.
Dave's talking, right?
Yep.
oh yeah.
Yeah, standing right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is there a light there? Can you see?
It's chilling.
Yep.
Can you see us or do you just hear us?
And it's trying to like hold Dave's hand, it looks like.
I wish I would have been more prepared for this because I had some great footage of from the Washrobe Club with Cindy Lamos when she was doing her gallery reading.
Mm-hmm.
She was up in front of everyone and she was bringing spirits through. And she, Rick says, little girl. So she was bringing spirits through and we were doing an experiment with standing behind her with the cameras with her in the frame and the people setting up the church pews. It was in the church. And if she was bringing people in, as she was bringing people in, you'd see a figure. And then she's like, they're bringing their pets in. And we've never, ever mapped a pet before. Something smaller than the stick figure would appear next to it.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Like, we've never caught that anywhere else. We haven't tried an experiment like that before. But as she was saying here, coming and saying that, we were actually mapping it. It was mind-blowing. It was really neat.
Yes, Eric, we definitely do. And I'm glad that you explained the difference between the XLS and the SLS because I tried the XLS, just on an phone app before. And I know, like, okay, yeah, like you were saying, like mapping out like a chair or something and thinking that it's a spirit, but it's really not. So yeah, I would definitely want an SLS.
So an XLS, just another to kind of define it a little more. An XLS is actually sending out a signal and waiting for that signal to come back. So if something gets in the way of that signal coming back, that's when it's going to try to map something. Where an SLS is just putting out like a wall of infrared dots. So when you see it on a night vision or something, you see the grid, it's looking for something just to break that. So that's a two-dimensional mapping on an SLS. But the XLS uses a three-dimensional, which will get less false positives than you would
There's
on an SLS.
it has an anomaly that you'll see, and we haven't figured it out. And it does need people to, hey, pick our brains. I want to pick your brains on it. It's those black sphery shadow balls that go shooting when you're looking. We don't know what that is yet. We all have theories, but it's something that only happens with the XLS program.
Mhm.
So
The black mass.
blob come through, but it doesn't move like dust, and it doesn't have any, it can go up and around, it shoots really fast. They do all different kinds of things. We have no idea what we're mapping with those. We don't. So and I see Christine said that she remembers the stick figure at the old Joliet prison. She was with us that night. It was so awesome. She got to see us using our SLS. We didn't have the XLS at the time.
Mhm.
And one thing that kept happening, those doggone shadow figures in that jail kept our equipment would shut off and then come back on. It would drain us like immediately. So that is very common to happen. If your batteries drain really quick on those and it shouldn't been and it's totally charged, it's because you're probably in a very active area, because it seems like our SLSs are the first thing that they tap.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. I agree.
Thanks, Larry. XLS, yes. You guys are gonna. Oh, I was told.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, keep
I'm
spelling.
excited for the next version type thing that's coming out, because it's another type of aspect to everything. It's another layer. I'll just say that. That's the only thing I can say.
We gotta go.
Scott's
It's
like, if
pretty
she
neat.
stays on anymore, she's gonna spill the beans.
If she spills the beans, she's gotta make every one of them. The other thing that we have corrected on the XLS and the SLS is the screen image is no longer flipped 180.
Yeah.
It's a corrected image now. So it's as you're looking at something just like a regular camcorder.
So when you're like, oh, is it there? It's there. No, so you don't have
Yep,
to
just
second
as you
guess
look
anymore.
at it now.
Exactly in front of you, like you see it.
Yep.
Ryan, you did.
So should I ship mine back so you can fix them to be that now? Instead of flip?
Oh, well, it won't work on the SLS. You need a bigger tablet.
So I could, but I have two XLSs, so I could ship
You
those back.
do.
Yeah.
Yep. We
Yep.
can fix those.
And so the other thing that kind of brings us into customization, like what Larry was saying, a lot of different paranormal groups have been coming to us and getting their logos put on theirs and things like that. And so we do that. We do a lot of customization. We do things for different people. Like we make an EMF special to the Washoe Club for Scott Burrell there. And he rents them out and sells them. We do that for the location owners, and we've got some things in the works coming up.
So I guess a good segue to that.
Look at him.
Yeah, I got a list.
He's got a list for us.
He does too.
Yeah.
Let's go. Are you checking it twice?
Checking it twice.
Maybe 3 times.
I'm good. Am I on the good list, Scott? Am I on the good list?
Let me flip through and check here.
Page 6.
We're gonna do 2 custom pieces for the Rhodes Hotel.
Oh,
Only can
cool.
buy them if you go
Yeah.
to the roads to investigate the roads. The only place you can buy them is through roads. So yeah,
She's going.
I'm going in May.
in May.
They won't have them.
We're working with them to get the details just right with Crystal. She has an idea in mind, and we're going to make it happen. It's going to be really cool. The only place that'll have them, and it'll have their name on it. So that's kind of our thought, just like the Washoe Club. You go to these places, you want something to bring home with you that reminds you of that trip you had in those places, and and it brings money back to the hotel owners, the people, or the location owners, I should say, so they can create revenue. It's another different way of us trying to help out our community.
Yeah, see, we're gonna ship them a few, and see how fast they go. And I'll leave it up to Crystal and Mike if they want to put them on their website for sale. That way, and then like Kim said, they'll get a share of, probably the majority of the share of the.
We'll probably just do it for cost. and
you know.
Yeah.
we want them to be able to make a profit and keep them so they're not, because our whole thing when we started this is not to be like gouging people. We don't like that. We all want to see everybody get out there, learn, have a good time. That's not what we've always been about. So in the corner there above my book, you see that is our night vision, our full spectrum camera.
Mhm.
We do sell those. We do sell hats and different apparel. I even got earrings on there right now with our logos on it. So periodically, I actually make and crochet things. You may see them on the website for limited time. REM pods and things. I've done that for events
Mhm.
where I made the witches and the little voodoo dolls and things like that that are REM pods.
I need a
Might be
little
doing-
ghost. I need a little ghost
Yep.
one.
I did the ghost for myself in here to try it out with the glow in the dark yarn, and it turned out pretty doggone cute. So that might be something, but they don't have I didn't make it as a REM pod. I just did it as a regular, just glow in the dark ghost. Let's see what else. We talked about sponsorships. Not yet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Janie, did you want to ask us questions?
No, you can keep on going.
we just kind of took off with it.
Sorry. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
That's
You
what
got a
happens
whole
when
list of things.
we don't get to visit that much anymore.
No.
You guys are awesome.
Talk.
Oh my God, Alicia, you should have seen us this at Michigan Paracon after we did the Paracon. We went to the island, and we were just having so much fun at the fort. We lost track of what time it was.
Yeah, we had a good time. We had a blast. Sponsorships,
Yeah, we just partnered up with Way Out West Paranormal. They're out of Cheyenne, Wyoming.
you might see Aaron Blackburn's name out there, and
Aaron and Jason.
yep.
They've got some stuff going on, filming with Paraflix, and they're putting their stuff on YouTube right now. So they're getting some equipment from us, and I know they just did an event this weekend, I guess, with the teens, Paranormal 101, where they're teaching kids,
They have a great location down in Cheyenne that they're taking. It's the Knights of the Pythias that they're doing this event Scott's talking about.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it's for teens, and I love that kind of stuff. I love when groups get together and they bring new people in and just kind of introduce them to stuff like that. Thank you.
Definitely.
So where all have you guys investigated at?
My goodness. We've been down to the French Quarter in New Orleans with some friends down there. We did Marie Laveau's house. We've done stuff. We haven't done up the East Seaboard or anything. We've done Trans-Allegheny. That's about the biggest asylum, the farthest that we've done. But everything's been back this way, besides the Washoe Club and Good Springs. And we've done a lot in Indiana, of course, the Rhodes Hotel. Whispers Sisters, Rob and Terry Ashmore. We love those places. We've done the Trivet Clinic. We've done tons of them. I don't even know where to start. So
You don't even know yet.
yeah, that's just highlighting some of the
Prison.
fun. Yeah, old Julie. We did it. We shut it down. And if Christine
I know.
ever got those doors open and she got back in there, she'd be the first one I'd call.
I know,
She
right?
is amazing. Yes. Yes.
I love Juliet. I went 2 years ago with David
Palmer
Shane.
House.
I really think it was the last public event that old Juliet had was with Dave and Shane before they shut it down.
Oh yeah. I think we went the year before that. I can't remember. Christine would know better, but yeah, we've done Deadwood. We've done Wyoming, places in Wyoming because I used to live there.
I
That's where
agree
I'm
with this
from.
comment.
Occidental. Yep.
You gotta come out to Broadhead.
You know, I
Yeah.
got lots of friends that swear by that one, and we always say we'd like to. Just that this year, what we're gonna do is we're gonna shut down the assembly line in July, not take any orders for July or August, and we're gonna go back to Wyoming, and we're going up to North Dakota first to Minot to see Scott's mom. And so we may do some investigating when we're up there seeing her. There's some places up in Minot that our friends have told us about. And then we're going to cut back over and go to Wyoming, see my mom in Sheridan. There's Wild Bill. I mean, Wyoming is just phenomenal. Occidental Hotel. There's some amazing places in Buffalo. That's where I used to live. Bighorns. If you guys, they're seriously haunted. Let's see what else we got. Anyway, we're gonna spend time. I'm going in the mountains, so we'll be off grid probably because I miss camping and fishing like no other, and I just need that for my soul. And so
Yeah.
we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna cut across and head into Montana and do Dillon and probably do Miss Brothel and some of those and get back to Bannock, Sumter. Those are places all we've done in the past. We're gonna hit all those again, and then end up coming back here. So that's why we're going to be gone for 2 months. Is we're going to do a lot of personal time and family time and investigating time, and then get back to. We'll hit it hard. And anybody who puts in an order during that time, they're just not going to receive it until we get back. Is the kicker. You could. Which, because I don't know if you guys know, people who buy our stuff, we generally kick it out fairly quick. We don't have you waiting for months for our stuff. So that's where that announcement comes in.
Tom's asking where.
Oh, I have so many.
Places.
Yeah. As far as haunted towns, Virginia City, Nevada, and Deadwood, South Dakota. Those 2 towns are off the charts. You could go probably anywhere in either places, and you're going to have, catch something. Then Goldfield, Nevada. Yeah, the whole town is haunted. Loved it. Love it. So any mining towns, things like that. My favorite, the most activity I've ever caught. It's really hard to say because I got educated down in New Orleans on the French Quarter. That was a whole week of investigating with some people, a team that invited that was buying our equipment that does tours. They do, how many tours do they do?
The last, I think when they started in 4 or 5 years ago, they've done over 1,000 investigations.
Haunted investigations. So they take our equipment and they use it.
Yeah, they do a ghost tour / investigation. So when you go on their tours, you're actually investigating with them. So,
and that's the Tallies, Jennifer Talley.
Paranormal Society.
You can look them up. They take a bunch of people a year, but we personally knew them and they had access to get us into Marie Laveau's house. And it was under new ownership and they couldn't get it rented because of the location and what was going on in the house. So we investigated it for a whole week. And by the time that week was up, he had enough evidence to take to the Catholic Church to get some stuff done on the house so that they could get it rented. It was that scary. It was crazy. I'm not going to lie.
It's a different energy or feel down there. It feels more like dirty. I don't know if that's the right word or not.
It's had so much history and with the floods and so much forgotten and wiped away that it's unsettled.
It's a different kind of haunting for sure.
And Marie Laveau's, we left the energy that Marie Laveau left there. I mean, there's still everything that she tapped into in that house with her voodoo, with the fae, with any things that she is. What they removed was something that should never have been there, and that was more of a satanic aspect. That's why the Catholic Church came in, and that's all they took care of was that aspect. But it was an experience that I had never been a part of before, and I was just, blown away. And so that was a good learning experience. Joliet was one of my very, very favorite places too. For the longest time, I was blown away by all the shadow figures in that place. It has tons of shadow figures. Dave Schrader I tell you, the EVPs and the disembodied voices in that place, it's off the charts. There's so many of them I could talk about. Seriously.
We like them all.
Yeah. We just, Whispers is one of my favorites. And it's like a layered onion. You get something every time you go. It's different. And that place is, and same with Stephanie's. Every time we go to the McAteer Villa, there's something different there too. And of course, I like Stephanie. She is a hoot. So that,
right?
Fun.
Stephanie's always amazing. I love.
Hi, Ryan. So I think that covered everything except
you gotta come to Broadhead. You gotta come to Broadhead.
Okay, we'll have to. I've been on some of the lives when people went there and watched, and they've got some neat stuff. I guess if you guys get a chance, I'm wearing my Sacred Mountain Retreat shirt. I don't know if you can see it. People who know me, I really am. I push Sacred Mountain Retreat. Can't really see it. SacredMountainRetreat.org. MTN is how you spell it. If you want to go there and check it out, they are anybody who's first responders, veterans, police officers, active duty, firefighters, any kind of trauma. It doesn't even have to be in the line of duty, but most of them are. It's open to them. It's a 1 week free retreat. And so I'm really pushing this. The biggest thing that I love about them, besides that retreat being peer-based, is that they have puppies healing. I can't think of it. I just drew a blank. Healing puppies for heroes, if I said that right. But you can go on here and find it. And they give they match service dogs up with whoever is needing it. It applies for it. And it's a wonderful program. I think they've only been around 5 or 6 years, but I think they've already placed 2,000 dogs, if I'm not mistaken,
wow.
with
That's
the
so
veteran or
awesome.
somebody who needs it. And so it's just, I get chills talking about them. I went through the program. I'm always going to be talking about them and trying to let people know that it's there if you need it. Go check them out. If you want more information, go to sacredmountainretreat.org. And it's sacred, SACRED,
Put it up in the
Yeah,
comments.
thank you. Retreat.org. Thank you. And that was my big
You're
plug there. And I'm going to be working on my second book. I'm halfway done with my second book that goes with this.
Yes, talk about
No,
it. Talk about it.
Talk about it. Did you
Talk
get
about
one?
your first book. Not yet.
Oh.
I haven't got your first book yet.
It's a fantasy fiction. It's called The Lost Son. It was based on a dream I had years ago. And it was like, man, that'd make a good book or a good movie. But it is based kind of loosely on Egyptology. And so it's kind of a weird mix match, because you know how dreams go, right? They can just kind of come to you in the weirdest forms. But I have this character. She is like a mess. She's in her 20s, going through psych classes. Her family's a mess. And she decides to say screw it to school, college, and takes off and goes over to Egypt. She's going to have a good old trip over to Egypt. Well, she gets caught up in some stuff that she doesn't expect to get caught up in. And it has to do with Osiris, who comes back, and she ends up aiding him because he needs to find his lost son, who is actually, because he's half god, half human, he's a demigod, he actually creates vampires. And so it goes into this big adventure of all kinds of stuff, but he's basically constantly looking for his son, and his son's a total asshole. If I can say that on here, it's a total jerk. And
Yep,
so
okay.
yeah, and so this Victoria, my character, gets all caught up in it. And so the book goes on, it leaves you hanging at the end. And the second book is going into all these different other characters, wars, because there's going to be jinn in it. There's going to be other Middle Eastern folklore characters bringing in it. And it basically sets you up for a bigger picture of all these warring factions over there, kind of is the best way to put it. And so that's their kind of, and that's why it's a trilogy. So that's all I probably told you too much about the book, but it's kind of fun. It's a fast read, actually.
My daughter is 12 and she's into all that type of stuff. Would that be something that she could read also?
Yes, I tried to keep them clean.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing is I think she was talking about an ex-boyfriend, and I said something that he was probably like a box full of poop wrapped up in a pretty box. Or something along those lines, shit, damn, those kind of words, but nothing really, really filthy, really. Where
can we get the book at?
You can get it on our website and I'll sign them, or you can get it on Amazon.com.
Nice.
So, either place. And if you do read it, I don't care if the review's bad or good. I just put a review out there, because the more reviews you get, the more they actually will bring it to the top so people can see it. So
Right.
hopefully it's a good review, but I do take criticism. So,
And that's called what again? I'm gonna write it down.
yeah.
She's gonna write it down.
What's it called again? I'm so sorry.
It's called The Lost Son by Kimberly Horn. It's on see. It's so what the picture is actually in the town where I had him dig himself out of, or he come out of his cave where he actually was buried in his tomb, is a town, and that's his crown. What's really cool about this book, you guys, I know it looks like a silly little cover, but there was a guy that I met online from over in, oh my goodness, I can't remember, overseas, but he is super good at artwork, but he only like $400 is a month's worth of pay for them over there. And so for him to do the artwork and do everything for my book, it made his house payment, everything, you know, and so that made me feel really good about it because the guy's really talented. I can't, I'll just read you. Do you care if I read you that? Do we have time?
No,
to read
go
you
ahead.
prologue?
Do it.
Let's see here. Is this the one? And okay, it's only a couple. Okay, I better put on my glasses to see if I can get this. You guys probably think it's boring, but okay. Near Deir el Medina, somewhere southeast of the Valley of the Kings, the sun had just set upon the mountain landscape. Stars were beginning to peer down onto the dry, sandy cliffs that held untold secrets of the past. With no witnesses to stop them, the three vagabond-looking men dug earnestly into the barren terrain. The tourists had stopped for the evening, and the tourists had returned to their places. They needed to work quickly. Though the location was out of the way, people were known to occasionally wander into the area. Now tell me again, why are we out here? It doesn't make any sense at all. According to the ancient records, this isn't even part of the Valley of the Kings. One of the men said to the other, scowling, Farid has a feeling, that's all. Just keep digging. Kadeem, your brother better be right on this one, because I could have been lying in comfort with a beautiful prostitute tonight. And to think I gave up this for a feeling. Farid, irritated by his cousin, hissed back over the shoulder toward the two men. I told you I had a dream, and my judgment has never steered me wrong in the past. I can't explain it, but something is definitely here. I can feel it deep within my soul. Besides, Shriek, I have made you a lot of money in the past to pay for those silly whores, haven't I? I am paying you either way, so just shut up and dig. Kadeem taunted his cousin as he teased. If you think those women you sleep with are pretty, then you probably haven't figured it out. They're not really women at all. We all have known each other for birth, and one thing is for sure. You may be a good pickpocket, cousin, but you have never had a good eye for a woman. Sharik glared at his cousins as they laughed. Suddenly, Farid raised his hands to both men and commanded silence. Wait, do you see that? He pointed through the settling dust. It looks like a solid stone wall. Kadeem, Shriek, I think we have found something. Squinting in the dim light, a wild grin spread across Farid's face. Yes, we're in the tunnel now. Hurry. We must pick up our pace before daylight or risk being caught. Artificial light slowly emerged into the musty dwelling that hadn't been opened for thousands of years. As the three slowly emerged into the burial chamber, their lights illuminated the hieroglyphics on the wall. In the corner, buried among ancient containers of jewels, was something no one expected to see or find. Comprised of a tall, conical white crown with red curling horns on each side, lays the Atef, the crown of Osiris. It cannot be, exclaimed Farid. He was believed to be buried somewhere in Abydos, not here. He turned to look at the other two in amazement and exhilaration, instantly calculating how much this would be worth to an antiquity dealer or even to the black market. But instead of paying any attention to Farid, the other two were looking upward in horror, their bodies frozen in terror. Their eyes were fixed entirely on something else. Dust began to fall from above. The tunnel that had been hastily dug by the thieves crumbled and gave away, locking the men inside. Within an instant, the foul creature made of rags and skeletal bones fell from above. Kadeem ran toward his brother and clung to him. Icy screams filled the cavern from Shriek as he turned frantically to claw his way out of the tomb, dropping his light to fervently dig with both hands. Kadeem was frozen in place, clinging hard to his brother, was unable to move or speak, much less to even scream as he watched the creature approach them. Then Farid fell limp into Kadeem as the skeletal figure grabbed a hold and bit down. The blood from Farid coursed through the hollow rags and bones, creating a more solid outline of what was taking form. It turned its attention toward Farid's brother. Urine began streaming down Kadeem's leg, drenching his clothing. He could feel Farid's body lighten lifelessly at the base of his feet. With new exposed eye sockets, the bloody cadaver glared at his next target. It slowly and methodically approached Kadim, who was still unable to move. He had just witnessed his brother brutally slaughtered and then purposely drained of his blood. The vile creature grabbed Kadim by the shoulders and ripped his veins from his neck. Bile and blood were now mixing in with his urine on the floor. Blood of the second victim coursed through what was appearing to be veins within the corpse's arms. The blood seemed to be giving it life. Intense screams continued by the doorway. Not daring to turn back, he looked to see what was happening behind him. Shriek desperately dug at the dirt with every bit of strength and adrenaline he had left, trying to escape the nightmare. Driven by madness and the thought that maybe they had opened the entrance to hell, Shriek began to babble to himself and cry, asking Allah to forgive them for unleashing such a curse. His ears were pierced by a fierce voice from above. How dare you enter hallowed ground? Bow down to me and ask for forgiveness so that you may enter my kingdom. Before he could reply, the living deity was upon him, biting at the veins in the arteries in his legs. Blackness swept over his limp body. Death consumed him completely as his soul was sent over to the underworld. As the last drop of blood was depleted, the final transformation began. The gruesome creature started to transform into his old godly form. His appearance was one of a great deity. This was the body frame he once possessed when he ruled the world in 4000 BC. He was a noble leader of his time and well respected among his people. He was a strong stature of a man, full of muscular character and tone. He had broad shoulders and a torso that angled downward with strong, long, and lean legs. His skin hinted of a green shimmer. The color was only slight enough to be seen in full daylight, yet it sparkled like a pale iridescent emerald, pronouncing he was truly a god, unlike the mortals he had governed over. Clearing his way through the passage, Osiris stepped outside. He examined the stars and felt the cool, dry air upon his new flesh. Closing his eyes, he inhaled the fresh air. This atmosphere was so different from the place that he had emerged from. He smiled and opened his eyes. He was determined to fulfill his promise to Maat and carry out what he was sent there to do. Leaving the earth undisturbed, he turned back and sealed the only way into his treasured lair.
People are saying that you need to make a audible version of the book. And
Not me. I can't even read it. Somebody else.
I would totally. I loved it. Like it was. I am a visual person when I read, so like I was seeing everything that you were reading, and it was awesome. I love
Thank
it.
you. So that was your hand. It was open. Yeah.
Ryan says, did you hear about the recent discoveries
No.
under the pyramid of
Is that the bodies that they found of the royalty that weren't yeah, I'm curious if that's the ones that look like royalty but they weren't buried like royalty, if that's what he's talking about. I love that stuff.
So where can people find you? Without saying what new piece of equipment that you have coming out, even though I really want you to. Tell everyone where they can find you and what to expect from you guys.
So you can find us on Facebook, obviously, Horn Paranormal Research. We're on Instagram. We don't do a whole lot on there. It's Horn Paranormal. We do have a YouTube channel. All these links can be found on our Facebook page. Our website is hornparanormal.com or hornparanormal.shop. Everything we talked about tonight is available on there. XLS, SLS, Kim's book. And like she said, if you do purchase a book through our website, you will get a signed copy. Yes, Doug, you're a little late to the party there.
He didn't tell me what it was. I even tried to get him to send me one before it went on sale so I could bring it to Eloise. But
hopefully in a week we're gonna release a commercial for it, and I think the first piece we're going to raffle off as well. So
I will
stay
win it.
tuned for that.
Yeah. And Ryan, I'm gonna go look this up when we get off here. About the sonar evidence. That is so cool. Interesting. I have to look at that. I am not writing these AI though, but they can go ahead and do my voice. I don't care. So that's awesome, you guys. And Doug, thank you for buying our stuff. And I love watching your videos when you're out there investigating. Here's another thing. If anybody's watching that does have our stuff and catches those cool things, I know like Jenny sent us little clips and stuff, but I would love to see something that you can't explain or something like that. Send it to us. We'll put it on our Facebook page and share it on our page, because, I'd love to give you guys shout outs for that. Speaking of shout outs, you guys, CL Thomas has Erie Expeditions magazine that she's launched, eriemagazines.com. She's putting out an ad for our new equipment in it. And she's done an ad for me for Sacred Mountain Retreat in her magazine as well. It is beautifully written and laid out. She's got articles in there from Maria Schmidt, Dave Schrader, when they were over there. I don't think he did an article, but Mike Ricksecker did in there, just different. And you can contribute. If you have an article you want to submit to her to read, it may be put in the magazine. It's about locations, haunted locations. It's a beautiful magazine. So I wanted to give her a real quick plug. There's so many good people out there in this field, really, there is. And so that's it. Did we go over? I think we went over. Just shut me up. I think I gagged.
This Phil. Phil just
Bill's
popped
late
in.
to the party.
Phil's late to the party here.
Yeah, our buddy Phil. Thanks for coming out. Do you guys have any more questions?
About a third question.
I have so many more questions, but
We'll
we'll save them for another time.
Messages. We're pretty good at answering your messages.
We'll do part 2 when the new piece of equipment comes out and we can talk about it.
Oh,
There you
that
go.
would be good, because I guarantee that there's going to be some talk about it, because I know what we caught on ours already.
Yeah.
No, I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will-
I'm not gonna say anything, but it's
I
gonna
bet
be
you
great.
if you let Kim talk, she'll spill the beans before you go.
You guys don't know how hard it is. I had to tell you a little funny story though. When I was a little kid, I couldn't keep a secret either. And so my mom would always tell me, I'd ask her and beg her to tell me what my dad was getting for Christmas. And so she told me it was a briefcase. And my dad would come over and he'd say, hey, honey, what did you get? I'm like, I can't tell you, Dad. Can't tell you. He's like, come on, give me a hint. And so I'd start. Pretty soon I was going, Thanks. And told him it was thank God my mom was smart. It wasn't a briefcase, but my dad thought he had outsmarted. I can't keep a secret. I just can't. So
You've
it's-
got session number 2 coming.
Thank you. We really enjoyed tonight. I'd reach
Thank
through
you,
here and
guys.
give you guys both a hug if I could.
Yeah,
I'll
it was
come
very
see-
nice meeting you guys. I
I'm
had
gonna
a
make
good
sure to
time.
come see you in October. We're gonna get
Okay.
together in October.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you guys for coming on, and I
Yeah,
can't
thanks for
wait to
having
see you again and get my hands on this new piece of equipment.
Yeah. Or two.
You're gonna need a little one of those little enclosed trailers to pull behind the car for too long.
I saw your mom
You
called you by your full name. She's like, no, Jennifer.
right? You're like, she's like, no. I'm like, yes. No, it's not like I don't have all of your equipment already. So
It's a sickness, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's a sickness, but it's okay. It's a paranormal.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna like our spirit box too, how we're designing it too, because it's
Oh,
gonna
yeah?
be kind of funky. Yeah. It's gonna have a design on it that's kind of neat.
See, she can't wait for the new equipment, so I can. Come on, Kim, tell us everything.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming on, and we can't wait to get you guys back on again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Bye bye.
Miss
Bye.
you. I see you on there.
Yeah, bye. So that was Kim and Scott of Horn Paranormal. If you don't have any other equipment, go get it. You will thank us later. But yeah, next week we have Kelly Hopla of Paraventure on and Eloise Asylum. So I will be super excited to talk to her because in 2 weeks I will be at Eloise Asylum investigating. So
Yeah,
in two,
yeah.
2 weeks, Alicia will be the host of Unturned Pages for the first time by herself. So I might peep in and say hi, but I plan on doing some live, some Eloise, depending on how crazy it gets. Because we got 10 amazing people coming with us, and it is going to be crazy. But yeah, I can't wait to go to Eloise. But yep, next weekend it's Kelly Hopla, so we'll be talking about Paraventure, Eloise, and all of her paranormal journeys. And then Alicia has deep
Southern Fried Paranormal.
fried paranormal.
Southern Fried Paranormal. You just want some chicken now.
Right. So y'all have a great night, and we will see you back here next Sunday, same time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Have a great night, you all.
Bye.